undefeated list was cut in half. Which teams escaped Season 5 with spotless records? Playoff spots will be released tonight. If the season ended today, would your team make the playoffs? And a full set of top plays. Week 5 inspired a lot of creativity. It's all coming up on the OXC Breakdown.
Oh, let's break it down.
Hello and welcome to the Overwatch Xbox Community OXC Breakdown. We are excited to get the show kicked off for you. The second one did our pilot, I guess, last week, and helped to come back with episode 2. Salt and Pepper with you, joined by General No Nibs and Headrammer. How are you guys?
Well, hello there.
Good.
Great.
I'm really happy to have you on. Matt not here this week, so we're going to rotate the panel a little bit. And I got a full slate of action for you guys this week. Starting off, I guess, just with short introductions, right? A little bit of housekeeping right off the bat. We've got signups on the website for the 1v1 and for Fortnite Season 2 as well, so make sure you get onto the website, OXC Gaming, to get all that sorted. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we can kind of dive right into it.
Yeah, so this week is going to be another full week of games. The maps for this week in all our Week 6 games is Eichenwald, Horizon, and Oasis. Pay special attention to Oasis because what was previously displayed as Blizzard World, but that's now been swapped for Oasis. So make sure you teams are keeping that in mind. And yeah, like this has honestly been a really great last week. Half of the teams that were undefeated from last week are now no longer undefeated. It's a toppling of champions.
Yeah, cut completely down. I was kind of surprised to see that. I think we went in with 8, and now it's 4 teams that were undefeated going into Week 5, their first losses. So kind of nice to see that teams kind of getting into the groove a little bit. Some of the mid-tier teams are starting to emerge as maybe some strong playoff contenders, and we'll actually have the playoff standings for you later tonight. So that'll be kind of nice to see, and we can kind of talk about how teams are, again, starting to shape up as we get towards the second half of the season. But Week 5 in general, I know you guys casted a lot of games, casted a couple, and getting to see a lot of the creative approaches to a lot of these maps. What was Week 5 for you guys on the whole? Like, what kind of surprised you the most about this past week of games?
What probably surprised me the most, specifically, was on Volskaya. Volskaya, I guess I didn't really have this experience a lot in my own personal times of playing Volskaya in ranked, but Volskaya, the scores on both teams were super high.
Yeah. Like
in nearly every match I casted, no one of the games I cast got to a score of like lower than 4. So some were like 4-4, some were like 4-5. I even cast one that went to like 6. Like I was astounded how high the scores were going on that map.
Yeah, it did seem like there was a lot of ties, or a lot of really long matches, but yeah, what were you saying?
The thing for me was it's been a thing I've noticed in the past couple weeks, almost ever since the Ana changes came through. Seeing a lot more of that, and really just seeing the pick rate at every tier really taken over on that main support, and it's just not a thing we really used to seeing on console too much, and I'm liking the changes.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I saw a lot more Ana play than we're used to seeing, and I like Ana as a support. I feel like, I'm happy that she's kind of getting a little bit more acknowledgement in the community. I think that some of the aim smoothing that will come through in this next patch and I think we'll definitely we'll see a few more coming out in games as well. And I think yeah, I'm about it. We've got that top play with some Ana there, so that'll be exciting to see when we get to that section. But yeah, I think overall,
I think she's also coming a lot into the meta with the presence of the GOATS compositions, because Ana can be a really strong, if played correctly, can be a really strong counter to the GOATS composition. Because GOATS is the three tanks and 3 supports, and if you can nail a big bio grenade on those people, that negates the abilities of 3 different characters on their team. They can no longer almost use any of their abilities because their main abilities are healing. You can really shut that down.
Yeah, so I completely agree. Getting into what are the first few teams to drop here? Big slated game coming into this week was PCOW and D9 both Waste Potential, the only undefeated team remaining left in Carbon, coming up against it was Munchies Juniors, who also, I think, second place perhaps, 3-1, right there towards the top, and how Waste Potential, if they'd be able to continue that kind of undefeated streak. They do have the one tie, so not completely spotless, but coming into this game, it looked like it was going to be a difficult kind of ask for them. Not quite the case.
No, it really wasn't. I was helping cast that game, and Waste Potential was showing showing really strong play. It started off like a little bit kind of needing the warm up, whatnot. They lost the first point of Oskaya pretty quickly, and that really kind of snowballed. But they really showed really strong teamwork and adaptation. I was constantly impressed throughout all three of the maps that they played of their focus fire, because they would burn down targets and go from target to target to target and kill them immensely fast. For a Carbon tier team, I am extremely impressed, and they were constantly making the changes and the swaps they needed to stay on top of the enemy team.
Yep, I completely agree, and I'm right there. Rewatched this game, and I believe it was on the side of Waste Potential. I believe his name is Nuckalukka. If I'm
Yeah.
or I probably butchered that, but yeah, but I was watching that a lot of the games, and he just really impressed me with what he had and the team in general, and to be able to make it that clean of a win there, it's really kind of shocking for me.
Yeah, I was kind of echo that about Waste Potential being just really strong. Again, this is the second place team they're coming up against in the tier, and still just kind of brushing them aside with the 3-0, and it just Waste Potential, I feel like, is kind of head and shoulders above the other teams in this division, and just looks really good. I feel like just coasting there to the top of the tier.
If you told me, like, looking at this team, if they were a Carbon tier team, I probably wouldn't believe you.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, the coordination's very solid. And I think I've done these two like back-to-back games there, game last week as well, and all the way around, just the coordination focus fire is really solid. Looking at some of the other games in this tier though, and I think it's kind of interesting to see how this is shaping up. Unacceptable up against Instalock, I believe, and actually, is that? I think that Lucy played. Yeah, and Instalock, sorry, towards the bottom of the tier, started the season 0-3, and then getting 2 quick wins to kind of get themselves right into contention, and it started to look really solid, I think. A completely different side almost. I think they were the old Ferocity team and really struggled early on, but these last 2 games, they've been just really, really impressive.
Yeah, part of the Milk Rat fan club, by the way. Started that myself.
Dude, Milk Rat popped off. I watched
I can get you
games.
guys t-shirts if you want.
There's t-shirts now.
Yeah, it's a pretty big fan club. We've got like 2 people. But
I'll admit, I see on a lot of the streams that aren't even related to that team. I see about Milk Rat.
Exactly.
Famous. But no, I think it shows a lot of mental fortitude and determination for this team. The team's gone through a lot of problems over these few weeks, but to kind of bounce back with this new name and just to come up with these 2 really strong wins, I think is really impressive on their part, and they're in playoff contention. Yeah,
so the first playoff set here from Carbon, it's going to be the top 3 going through, where the top 2, or the second and third seed will play like a semifinal, and the top team there will get a first round bye. So 2 rounds of playoffs there, but Waste Potential, I think, kind of earning that bye. And up there 4-1 still without a loss, 12 map wins, very, very solid. It's a perfect record so far. Well, I guess kind of perfect, still looking pretty good. Insert team name here, a team that started out, this is the team that I'm on actually, started out 2-0, looking pretty solid, and has 3-game slide. 1 was a forfeit, but 2 games beaten back to back, and that's been kind of tough. Obviously, they're at the bottom of the tier, and I think just missing maybe a little bit of DPS and cohesion that kind of get us over the line, I guess. Just really difficult game this past week.
So what do you think your team needs to do moving forward to kind of put yourselves back in.
Play together more often. We don't play together often enough. That's all it is. And if you think
That
you
really-
could be a successful team just playing once a week, it's a challenge. So yeah, that's really it. Just practice more, guys. You gotta practice.
It really is, because like you see these teams coming in. Some teams have been playing with each other for a long time. Some teams are completely new, have like never played each other before, and that's why you can see these huge jumps in skill towards the later end of the season. Build that cohesion and synergy, because Overwatch is a hugely team-based game. It's probably said not even enough. People try to solo carry in comp games, not talk with each other, and that's the reason why a lot of them don't go well. But practicing, getting those scrims in, and putting in the work to actually play and work with your team, because it's not enough sometimes to constantly be talking, because talking is really good, but you also need to have those instant reactions and that confidence and trust in your team, knowing that your teammate will keep you up to when you go in, or will follow up on the damage you're doing. And sometimes teams just don't put that in.
I think
Salt, I believe I actually casted your game last week, and I was watching a little bit of that, and I believe it was a Pharah was kind of giving you guys some problems. I remember if I'm remembering right.
yeah, we did. I don't think we have a natural hit scan. We're working on it. Which actually fantastic time to plug. The ad drop deadline is tonight, so make sure you finalize your rosters. Get those on the website as well. It's a quick plug, but yeah.
And by tonight, 12 Eastern.
Yeah, 12 Eastern. So
12 Eastern,
11
midnight.
Central, 9 Pacific. Yeah, but just lastly on Carbon here, looking at the standings, I think Inslot definitely has not even really an outside chance. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they creep up into one of those top 2 spots. I think really solid team and really good coordination. Munchies Jr. is also in third, but played well against Wasted Potential and obviously didn't get the win, but the games were close. So I feel like, yeah, definitely a chance there to be in the mix. I think those 2, 3, 4 teams are going to be really interesting to watch for the rest of the season, and maybe there's an outside chance that ITNH gets in there. We'll see. You never know.
Especially because like map wins are really important. Because if you look at it, 3 and 4, they're off by like 1 win and whatnot, but their map points are exactly the same.
Yeah.
So if Insta gets another win and maybe Munchies Jr. loses, they could definitely be kind of neck and neck with each other.
Yeah, it'll definitely start to shape up towards you to the end of the season. Insta-lock up against Unacceptable. But Munchies Jr. is playing ITNH, so I think on paper, if you think Munchies, obviously we're going to be looking for that win, but it's going to be a tough matchup for us. We can definitely make it difficult. Insta-lock Unacceptable. A lot of good games coming up and a Wasted Potential on a bye, so able to kind of watch the proceedings. It's Buffalo Wings that dropped this week from Carbon. So these are your 5. And Wasted Potential, again, able to take a little bit of a breather, watch these other games, and Carbon should be a lot of fun this week. But yeah, moving on to Challenger, the big game that we wanted to slate, the D9 versus PCOW. And this one was a lot of fun to watch. I think they definitely gave us the game that we were looking for between the 2 4-0 teams coming into this week. And obviously only one could be victorious. It was D9 winning 2-1. And it was a pretty meaningful kind of third map. Obviously they were able to tie up the series, or rather PCOW tied up the series, and yeah, D9 just able to get away with a win.
Yeah, it's real. Those games that you go in where 2 teams are like both really high up, whether it be undefeated or not, and those games are some of the best ones there are. Well, because only one team truly comes out victorious, even though it might be close. They're the victor in the end, and it really feels good to have
so
that
much on the
title.
line.
Absolutely, the title of undefeated.
Yeah, so I guess obviously one of the teams was going to drop this week, but PCOW, one of the teams there to lose their perfect record, and still doing a really good job though. Top of Challenger, which has proven to be, or towards the top of Challenger, which has proven to be a pretty close tier this year. I mean, always Challenger contender, that kind of level is always very tight, and Rival, you start to see a little bit more separation, and Champions pretty cut and dry, but the Challenger and contender tiers for sure. Definitely a lot of vying back and forth. Any team, I think, on any day can beat any other team. It just goes back and forth. A lot of them are toss-ups, and this just happened to be one of those. I think on another day, maybe PCOW wins this, but yeah, D9 getting away with the victory here, and looks really, really solid doing so.
Yeah, that indeed. Both these teams are incredibly good. It's just such a good game to watch.
Now that was for the Talon division, correct? And then we
Correct.
also have the Overwatch division for Challenger.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. The way the standings are broken out there, and we'll get to that here in just a second. But going up and for both these teams next week, Paranoia Esports up against D9 and PCOW against DGBR, Don't Go Breaking Reinhardt, and we'll see if obviously D9 still just on a possible or a completely undefeated season. We'll see if they finally kind of come up against some difficulty, but looking pretty good so far.
I'm gonna call it right now. By the way, Don't Go Breaking Reinhardt, best name in the league.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Came out in preseason. I just knew right then that it was going to be amazing. Second Challenger tier game that we were able to cover a couple more this week, and there really was just so difficult to choose between all the ones we had available. But Chaotic and Sombra's Tech Support, another fantastic game. Chaotic up towards the top of the tier, and STS just looking to kind of climb back into it, and facing a lot of difficulty. It was Chaotic that came away with this one as well. All these highlights for you guys. What do you guys tell me about this game?
Chaotic's actually I coach Chaotic. I couldn't make that one, so I just had to end up watching the VOD and see how we did. But Sombra's Tech Support definitely gave us run for our money, especially on that second map there. They came out in goats, I believe, and we just couldn't get a counter to it. It was just they were running through us.
And Damon Guru, I can only imagine.
That's exactly what that comp's designed to do too. Like if you don't stop goats early, goats will stomp you because that's what gets going. You run into people, you focus them down one by one. You build up your ultimates. When you have those ultimates, even if you have the full counter to goats, it's not easy to stop through a graviton, a shatter, all these ults, and then also major support ults. It's just difficult.
And there were swaps quite pretty all around, honestly. Like we were because I had told them before the game if certain things happen what we're wanting to run, and they were trying it, and we just couldn't get anything to work. It was a rough map for us.
Really showing that honestly, sometimes teams are super good on super maps, and with how big the available map pool is in this game. Well, obviously we only have 3 maps per week, but it's impossible with the amount of time to be amazing on every single map. You kind of got to pick and choose the ones you practice, and some teams just the playstyle just fits certain maps better.
I was just happy to see Rialto in the map pool. I feel like because it's one of the newer maps, and still possibly some where people are working on strats and everything. So see how people react to what's ran on that.
Yeah, when the meta's like wide and open, a lot of interesting things can happen. Like I always have a thing where, okay, so like usually right when a map comes out into comp, I'm usually not a huge fan of it. Usually because I have really bad experiences on the map, while everyone doesn't know how to play it, so I end up losing a lot.
That reminds me, Busan came out to play. Busan, or however you say it, came out today. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, in comp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I can't like that map.
Finally, now another engagement coming out from Chaotic.
I actually liked Busan. I got to play it this past week and really enjoyed it. But just last thing I want to say about STS and Chaotic, Sombra's Tech Support came out on Nepal here and looked like a completely different team. We were able to get the win, and it kind of looked like for a second they were turning it around, but then Chaotic came back on that third map. But just going into the standings here for Challenger, getting the playoff spots here is starting to really shape up in this tier. Fantastic to see the parity in the Overwatch division though. Inner Circle, Chaotic, Drunken Shimada Clan, all 4-1, and I think attrition dropping from this tier, so that's where a lot of those, I guess, opponent losses came from. But just Overwatch division incredibly tight, and it's gonna be difficult. Void obviously right there on the edge, just one game out, could possibly squeeze back in there, and so Challenge it's just been a fun watch this season. P9 PTOW, like we said, P9 able to take the The win there improved to 5-0, still pretty good with 12 map wins. PCOW with 13 map wins, even though they have lost a game. And then it kind of falls off a little bit from there. So you're looking for one of those middle two teams. And honestly, because Rickamaru's Robin Revenge 2-2 in third place, Somber's Export may be able to squeeze back in there. I think Paranoia might be a little bit further out, but STS, you get another win in map wins, 2-2-1, 9 points. It starts to look a little bit better, but obviously you're kind of looking for help from a lot of the rest of the teams in the tier to kind of beat the teams above you. So could be an interesting challenger tier. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I totally agree. Even if you're not one of the teams that will make it to the playoffs, I think it can be really fun to play spoiler. You can be the one that prevents a certain team from getting the playoffs. And I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like to be that in that mode. Obviously, I prefer to be in the playoffs, but if I was not in the playoffs, I would like to be a spoiler.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yes. Let's see. And I know that I was reading some messages in the general chat today on that Discord, and I know there was some friendly banter between some Inner Circle and some Chaotic. So I know they're playing. I think it's the last week. I think we play each other week 8. So that will be a good matchup to look into the future, and kind of like almost the deciding one, I feel like.
Yeah, and the format for the playoffs for this division will be the top 2 seeds, regardless of tier, getting the first round bye, and like everybody's kind of seeded from then on out. So it'll be 3rd versus 6th playing 4th versus 5th, and then those 2 winners will play the bye week teams, and then they'll play for the semifinal to go into the final. So yeah, lots to play for, and definitely one of those bye spots, especially in the Overwatch division, will be a pretty hot contest through the rest of these weeks. So we're excited to see that. But yeah, I think Valentine's there for Challenger. The contender tier also saw a first loss of the season handed to, I believe this was Dad and the Lads.
Yeah,
dropping a game.
True. Yeah, that was a very good game. I helped cast that game, and it was pretty tight across all the maps. Similar in Volskaya, this is another one of the ones that went to a pretty nice score. There was big plays on both sides. Like there was Farah's popping off, there was Reinhardt's, there was supports. I don't think there was any one category of player that didn't stand out in these maps, because these were there run score 5-4. That's crazy, those scores.
This game was a pretty fun watch. I enjoyed watching this one, and Desert Legion also looking really solid. But Dad and the Lads have been a pretty dominant team throughout, and finally meeting their demise. But I just feel like in this game, obviously went back and forth. Dad and the Lads able to win one there at the end after it's kind of a foregone conclusion. So you appreciate them getting the map win, but yeah, Desert Legion coming away with the win.
It really did, and it looked very strong on control specifically. I know Desert Legion was kind of like struggling a little bit early in the season, but it looks like they're really starting to pick things up and improve for themselves.
And that was also especially one you probably didn't see coming looking at the stand-ins themselves. I mean, if you look at Talon Division, it's really Phantom Thieves and Dad and the Lads there at 1 and 2, and then 3 through 6 is all, I mean now we got 2 and 2. I'm looking at the old standings there, but I mean now they're sneaking up there slowly. But it was going into that game. It looked like it was just by stats alone. It would have been Dad and the Lads pretty easy.
Yeah,
absolutely. It was definitely a pretty big upset, and DLG boys should be really happy. A shout out to DLG boys. I was on DLG last season.
Yeah, they've been in the community for a while, and a really solid team. It's been nice to watch them over the seasons. Quite appreciate that. Just a one game in contender this week, but yeah, just going back to this game, obviously nice to see Dad and the Lads get the win here. It was a kind of a last minute, kind of at the death stop, I believe, for them. It was 2 points here at the Cathedral section on Rialto, or the Duke cap, I don't know. But just all the way, where were they able to cap?
Well, sorry, yeah, they put them off. It was impressive, yeah. So that Dad and Lads captured all 3 points, and DLG went to push, and DLG was pushing through first and second pretty strong. And when it came to third, they got stopped up. It was one of the situations where I'm pretty sure DLG could have capped third point, but it's one of those fights that like the fight went too long, and as longer a fight goes, the defense builds up the advantage slowly and slowly, and then control of the fight was lost from the attack, and the defense overran the attack and held them for so long. It was a really impressive stall from the side of the lads.
Yeah, so we expect them to kind of be in the mix there as well. Looking at the standings here for contender, Dan the Lad's still very much in the mix. I think actually just that total for them. But Desert Legion Gaming still right there as well. It does. You're exactly right. It does kind of start to fall off a little bit, but Danny DeVito, I think, also a good team. Kind of surprising to be 1-3, and hoping they'll get back into it there as well. The other side, it's way more competitive. You got two teams with winning records outside the playoffs looking in, and it's really going to come down to map wins, I think, for some of these like Excalibur team move that right outside there. And Astrantia, I think that's 2 or 3 2-1 losses plus 2 wins. Means they're sitting with 9 map points, but in 6th place. So hopefully, they start to turn around, and immediately the tiebreaker starts to go their favor.
Yeah, really, because that division is really close on that side. That's 3-2, 3-2, 3. That is anyone's game. And
while it is the top 3, it's not technically the top 3 from each division, because it's just the top 2 and then the next 4 ranks. So it's not like if you had a team with a negative record, they would get in over somebody in this tier with a record. And that's kind of something else that I know we're going to get to with the Carbon tier, and I was kind of talking about a little bit how Inslack probably a stronger team than their record implies. The same kind of thing here. We've got Excalibur that's been playing really well, obviously in 4th place, but they're also in a very difficult division. So you got context. That takes some effect, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so all the way around, solid game, DLG, Dad and Lads. Looking ahead to next week for both these sides, looks like it's going to be Dad and Lads up against Phantom Thieves, also a team there towards the top, and DLG and Panthera Tigers. Phantom Thieves still undefeated, actually coming away with a win, and just again looking really solid. I don't think we have the highlights for that game, but
you think we'll have any undefeated teams by the end of the season?
I don't know. There's a couple strong contenders, Again, Phantom Thieves looking really good, and you've got D9 coming out of this week, and Wasted Potential, like we said, so much higher in I think skill, just in mechanical skill and playing together than the rest of that tier. It starts to look like they'll probably go the distance, but only 4 teams left.
I'm looking right now, and I'm thinking 2 undefeated teams by the end of this.
2 undefeated, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Which ones are you thinking?
Wasted Potential. I think they're gonna take a undefeated into this, and then possibly in the champion tier, just Prometheus, just because I feel like in the champion tier teams there's not as many teams,
Sure.
So that they could just kind of almost go in there off of getting the forfeits alone.
It's possible though that you play a couple of those champion teams a couple times, and they start to figure out your strategies, and maybe it changes up. I mean, obviously the map changed, but still. But before we get to champion, getting into rival Paranoia Esports and Shimada Armada this week. Another fantastic game. Paranoia actually able to take down a kind of really solid team. Paranoia 2-1, but I think that may have been their first win of the season. Am I wrong with that?
For which one?
Oh no, I'm completely wrong. I'm thinking of Panthera's Tigers in the contenders here. Paranoia, sorry about that, 3-1 coming in against Shimada Armada 3-2. So kind of a battle for members at the top of the rival tier. And this game is important because the rival tier, like I said, is starting to really take shape. And a lot of teams really, really close in rival. And obviously a lot of those games yet to be played. We have the postponed games from last week that will kind of change the shape of the standings and kind of be some teams getting their games played earlier than others could start to make the standings look a little deceiving. But this game in general, Paranoia looks really solid all the way through. Shimada Armada put up a really solid fight, but Paranoia just able to take this one. A pretty fun watch.
Yeah, that game kind of went down to a bit of the better end there. It was kind of pretty close the entire way through, and but both those teams are very strong. I know my team in Rivals here played Shimada Armada earlier, and we struggled against them. They're a very strong and well coordinated team. The fact that Paranoid Esports is able to defeat them says a lot.
I mean, I think you guys kind of said it all. Like hit the nail on the head there for that game.
Yeah, and that actually that opens up the division more. By it brings Shimada down a little bit more, and then the race retention in the NA tier is that is just that much closer.
Yeah, looking at the standings for Rival playoff positions here, obviously the EU side of Rival a little bit smaller, so 2 spots there. But for the rest of this division, those 4 can be kind of the ones to get. Kinetics, one of the other teams, dropping this week against the Trash Cans, and another pretty exciting watch. We'll cover the game here in a second, but look at the standings so far. Just so many teams with 3 victories, and I think those playoff positions can be pretty hot commodities.
Yeah, definitely. I fully expect the playoffs finalists to be in contention until the very bitter end.
No doubt about it. Trash Cans Kinetics, though, this was actually a really fun game to watch. And like I said, we've got some highlights from this game. I think probably 4 highlights from this game in the top 10, honestly.
Yeah, this was my team's game actually. It was a pretty tough game going right through. It was back and forth through all the different points. I know first map of Volskaya, both teams kind of defense struggled in the beginning, and we kind of pushed through pretty fast. And then as we were going forward, we kind of like figured each other out how they were playing. And then my team, the Trash Cans, ended with a decent, much better time bank on attack. But we really messed up our attack, and their defense held really strong. It held us for like 3 minutes on first point for our second attack, and then they crushed they crushed our defense pretty well on that point. So a little disappointed in ourselves for Volskaya, but all credit to Kinetics for that point. And then it was really honestly back and forth again on Nepal. Nepal, we came out strong, and we took the first point really, really well. But then on second map, they kind of destroyed us for quite a while. They took us to basically 99 before we even took the point. And then we came back and we held it to about like 70 or 80%. But by that point, because of how much free time we gave them in the beginning, they kind of rolled over us and took that map point. But then on the third point, we sorry, did you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, then on the third point, I think we did really, really well at playing around the map. We ran a May Reaper, Moira Lucio, or Ryan Zarya composition, and we were able to sneak out without dying. Nobody on our team died at all. It worked really, really well for us, and we were able to kind of ride that into the next map, and just played. I think we played really, really strong Rialto. Rialto previously in the past was a difficult map for us. It's just because we didn't really understand how to play it that well. But in this one we did really well. They ran the defensive strat that we wanted to originally. But then after kind of we approached their defense and kind of defeated pretty well, we decided we didn't do that anymore because didn't really work that great against us. And then our defense was actually able to hold strong, which primarily was actually a struggle for us in the past. Our offense was always quite good, but our defense has struggled in the past. And we were able to step it up and kind of hold them pretty well between first and second point on Rialto for the final map win.
Yeah, this was actually this is another one I casted, and I was just really surprised, honestly, at the ability to flex I saw, like especially on the DPS on your on both teams, But specifically your team there, I was like looking, and every time I looked up, whenever I was casting, I was like, oh, there's another switch. Oh, they've swapped roles, and now Evan might be on Doomfist or something like that, and then the other one might be on Widow, and I was like, I don't even know anymore. Like they had a great ability to play really anything, it seemed like.
Yeah, our DPS are quite flexible. I was actually really impressed by the DPS outside Kinetics. They were constantly getting game-changing picks. On Volskaya, for example, their very first attack, their Hanzo dinked me right in the head as Hanzo when I was playing Ana, and basically they rolled right through us then because I was our main healer. And again, their Hanzo dinked me in the head when playing Mercy. This is on Nepal. This is the point that we lost them on Nepal. I was playing Mercy when we were doing a pharmacy, and he one-shot me out of the air. that was actually the fight we then lost that point on. They were consistently getting really good picks that were changing the course of the game.
I definitely will say
Also-
though, the Rialto attack you guys coming out, and obviously we'll see it in the top play. It's fantastic team play, but things like that, just the awareness and the comms, definitely came through and made it really interesting. Just really exciting watch. Yeah, Kinetics dropping, taking their first defeat of the season, and yeah, again, like we were talking about, just Rival starting to shape up and be a really, just really solid tier. And I think a little bit maybe closer than we've seen in the past. Obviously, we were talking about champion or contender and challenger being really tight tiers, but Rival right there, obviously, we've got the two teams, like we said, right outside the playoffs looking to get in. So, yeah, a lot of competition heating up as we get towards the tail end of the season here, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Me too. We're making the playoffs. We're gonna make it happen.
So many highlights from this game. Again, if you had an opportunity to watch that, go and check that one out. Solid game. Trash Cans Kinetics. I think that's on Skate Action DJ on his channel.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
been a
That's correct.
solid stream for us. And
Watch the great combo of No Aim and No Brain. Good casting duo.
that's good stuff.
No, honestly, your guys' stream is cracking me up all the time watching it. It's really entertaining.
Yeah, we're just two amateurs just doing the best we can,
Yeah,
having
that's all
fun
it
with
is,
it.
right? Yeah, again, last look at the Rival standings. Like we said, a few teams outside looking in, trying to get in there. Yeah, so Rival. It's been a lot of fun to watch. And hopefully, we'll get a few more EU teams this next season. Be able to fill out that side a little bit more. And yeah, if you got some interest in EU administration, you let us know. But on to the champions here. Finally, the last team that we'll discuss who also first lost this season. Banditos came out, and Pink Sox kind of took them to task. I think this is their second game of the season, so a little bit deceiving to see them with such a low record, but a very creative approach from them on this left-hand side, using the teleporter to come across. They had a Bastion up on the top. Were able to get the res off here when he kind of met his fate. And they just went on to roll the point, just really solid all the way through. And this is another game, really fun to watch.
Yeah, I was really impressed watching the Pink Sox play. Their coordination, I think, is a really, really strong part of their team. Coming with those interesting plays, like you mentioned, they ran Bastion on a few points when a lot of teams don't normally do Bastion. Like the Bastion, the Skaya strat is something you don't typically see in the high ranks. When it comes out, you're almost unprepared for it at the same time. But when you execute it with like actual thought and in the high level play, it can be incredibly impactful.
Yeah, and a little sad for me. I'm part of Banditos. I wasn't able to make that game. I actually had a power outage, but so that wasn't very fun. But
Ouch.
yeah, the Volskaya, the Pink Sox. I heard they capped with like 6+ minutes. Like it was extremely fast.
Yeah, 6 minutes and 14 seconds coming in very strongly. And like I said, a lot of creative attacks that came around on that Volskaya B around the backhand side, and were able to shatter the Rhine immediately and throw out the Symmetra ultimate to kind of give themselves a little bit of space to work. It just, honestly, was just entertaining to watch. I think they also had some creative strats on Rialto as well, and definitely congratulations to them for getting that win. But Banditos only dropping one.
Yeah, dropping one of the first place teams that are pretty much undefeated is a really impressive, almost like statement to make. coming in late, Pink Sox coming in late into the season, and then coming in and saying, "We'll just take you all on."
They definitely on that first map they showed what they were. Let's just go with that. They showed what they could be.
Yeah, like I definitely appreciate those creative attacks. I think obviously we saw a couple from a few teams, but no one more prominently, I guess, than Pink Sox. And really fun to watch this game again if you get a chance to go check it out. But just back and forth this one, and I feel like I don't know did Banditos win this middle one? I think they did. And then Pink Sox came back with a very impressive Rialto win.
Yeah, we went. I believe it was Goats on Goats on Nepal, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Pink Sox in the red. Yeah, in this game, it's Buffalo and Banditos here on the blue, Pink Sox in the red, and then when they go to Rialto, they swap. I think you guys made a comment about that, or somebody made it. The commentators made a comment about it.
Yeah, I think they ran some bats in Rialto as well.
Really, just honestly, solid ult combos. See the shadow right there, the rocket barrage coming through, and just coordination from Pink Sox, which is impressive to watch this entire game.
Yeah, even like their team obviously has a mechanical skill and all that too, but like the team play and coordination can really elevate a team's play. We mentioned earlier about Waste Potential not looking like they're a carbon tier team. So much of that comes from their team coordination and play. They could very well. I could fully expect them to be able to go up a tier next season with how well they're playing. And when you see that high level play in the champion tier, and you have the teamwork, it just can lead you to a whole nother level.
Yeah, you can absolutely punch above your weight when you've got the coordination. Again, Buffalo Banditos kind of tying up and making it interesting, but towards the end of this game, Pink Sox able to come through with a pretty solid defense, I believe, and kind of shut it down. Again, Banditos in red here, Pink Sox in blue. But that ended up being a really, really entertaining watch.
Yeah, something for everyone in the family.
Absolutely. And that's direct here. H-Bomb absolutely popping off here for Buffalo Banditos. And again, just a lot of fun game to watch.
It's kind of been a recurring theme, actually, through a lot of the maps that are played this week. Even across all the ranks, from Carbon to Champion, there was a lot of fair play. I was surprised how much fair there was.
Yeah, well, and again, if you don't have that natural kit scan to deal with the Pharah, it just becomes incredibly difficult. Obviously, you saw there the direct on from McCree stunned out of the air, and the Pharah is still able to get it done. So it's just, if you can't counter the Pharah, then why not run Pharah against a team that can't counter you, right?
That's true. I'm a huge advocate of the strategy of if you find something that works against the enemy team, throw out your plan for what you were going to do on the next map and just keep running it until it fails.
You just capitalize.
Yeah, especially, and I think that just comes down to almost console in general. I feel like it's kind of the same with like how I brought up with Ana earlier. Like she wasn't like super picked. I feel like Pharah, kind of is picked a lot more because of that. How aiming is just a little harder, I would think, on I guess I would say on console than on PC.
Definitely, there is definitely the kind of like console specific metas where those things just work a little better because of the structure of the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, just towards the end here, all out brawl, Pink Sox finally able to push up the line. And all credit to their defense, though. On, I guess, round 3 just to hold them right here. But yeah, congratulations to Pink Sox taking down the cheerleaders. This is how Champion starts to shape up. Which would be the last little bit of this highlight for you. Yeah, looking at the champion standings, Prometheus and Potential. Oh, actually, yeah, okay, that's right. Prometheus still undefeated up there at the top. Potential Disaster, and Buffalo Bandito still up there in in good positions. Pink Sox are very close. Again, you start getting some wins. I don't think Pink Sox have played Prometheus yet, or maybe they have. But again, with a tier this small, you're going to rotate through, so an opportunity to come back through and kind of take down the tier leaders, and all of a sudden it starts to look a little bit interesting in those playoff spots. A lot can still happen in this tier. Bogarts, though, still struggling.
Yeah, I want to see if Pink Sox joining late will definitely have a difficult time making the playoffs, but I think it is still possible. And if not, they can definitely play spoiler, potentially pull some people out. I really want to see them take on Prometheus if they haven't already. I want to see that game. I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And as the looking ahead to the next week for these teams, it's a potential disaster against Pink Sox. So again, it's an opportunity there for Pink Sox to kind of play spoiler again, right? Kind of mix up that tier. Prometheus up against Buffalo Banditos, who will be itching to get back into winning ways and kind of take down that one remaining undefeated team in the tier. So yeah, I think a lot of intrigue across all teams and all tiers this week, going into week 6. Like Horizon Oasis.
Yeah, yeah, these games just keep getting better as the season goes on because teams get better, so you get much better games. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Already some games scheduled this week, actually. Surprising that, obviously teams wanted to get in and get scheduled quickly. Always fun to see. Let's see, so far I think actually there's a game ongoing right now at 8 Eastern. I think that's on Swift's channel, so after this is over, people to catch the tail end of that one should be pretty solid. I believe that is Dad and the Lads and Phantom Thieves, actually. That's that. And Don't Go Breaking Rider and PCOW also playing right now. So those channels for you in our Discord, if you haven't joined yet, it's stream schedule channel, all listed there. I think it's, let's see, I think it is on Swift's channel. Yeah, Swift does have a game going, so you go check that out. Swift63, twitch.tv/Swift63. Should be good stuff.
Yeah, if you find yourself having, some extra time on a Thursday, perhaps at 8 p.m., come watch the Trash Cans versus Ironclad.
Oh, there you go.
Where, and I'm going to throw a little shade here, where the Trash Cans will defeat Ironclad. Prediction.
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Themselves.
It'll be on I Am Potatoes' channel.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of games over there as well. Big shout out again to all of our streamers who have been able to cover a lot of these games. Really do appreciate it.
Our favorite Brit streamer.
Yeah. Tavius.
Yeah, he's great.
Over there. A lot of great commentary on that channel, so go cheer in that. But coming up, guys, top plays for this week. Obviously, a lot of clips submitted. We narrowed it down to these top 10, and I think it's a pretty good watch. So we can get to them here. Let's see what we got top plays.
Reinhardt. But yeah, Vexi doing a great job here on that Reinhardt, able to get a lot of shatters.
Yeah, we got a Diva. The EMP.
This is a fantastic combo. The EMP bomb, this actually helped them win this round. The EMP over the top, double bomb here from Avians, and
they wiped him like immediately there.
Now this one coming up right here is actually this one's one I put higher, I think, there whenever I submitted some votes, the number 9, because of if you listen there, you can hear it shutting down the soldier ult. So that's a
nice little double whammy.
Pretty big there.
Okay.
Yeah, all 4 reflexes here for Kinetics against the Trash Cans and just cleaning up on this point. I think this was the map that I think Kinetics won full Sky, correct? And this is a big part of it, all 4 reflexes in the back, just cleaning up.
Yeah, he was laying down damage on us when we were trying to recap it.
That's how a little Tracer play.
Everyone's trying to focus on Bastion, and Tracer gets to have free reign in the backline. This could be
this one was pretty fantastic. Waste potential, like you said, just head and shoulders above the rest of this tier, able to come around the backhand side, and they do respond to it well enough, but not in time. Set the Arista shield, got the Bastion going, Tracer gets away, and it's just
the attack has become the defense.
Just like the completely mows them down, they're dead instantly.
That was a very good attack.
And the fact you can pull out those unusual strats and then execute them well is always a big, strong sign of teamwork.
Plus, you don't have to go over that bridge and you take the chance of getting booped.
Now this one's kind of hard to see though, right?
Yeah,
a little bit.
This one,
watch the feed. Watch the feed.
This is the Widow 4K, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like unfortunately it wasn't caught from the point of view.
Yeah, Skate. I know you're listening.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't play Widow, but I always appreciate a good Widow play because I know I can't do it.
That's very true. Yeah, but the Widow 4-piece there to help him stop that push, and she gets another one there with a bonus at the end. This nice D Panther, Moira triple coming through with Coalescence.
As a support player, this was one of my my favorite plays to watch because they're just they're using excellent use of the ult, really, there to heal and damage at the same time. It's just down really well.
Nice Nanoblade out here. There was actually a double bomb in there as well, but Nanoblade coming through from Armada, helping Armada continue, I believe, defending this point on Paranoia's attack.
And inevitably it's scary. So I was casting this game when this play happened. I was just talking about how they did a big play to get this Bastion off point, and
Speaking of big plays,
my gosh, right when it happened, killed 5 people.
with
Can't
a
even bigger than that.
Now I was casting this one, and this was one of my favorite like plays that I've seen, like in terms of teamwork, really. Able to immediately spot that, and then just the excellent Maywall, and it's just everyone's dead.
well, and it wouldn't be a top 10 right without another Optimus bomb. So a nice 5-piece there from Optimus to close it out, and yeah, you know, top plays.
Yeah.
I will say though, going back to
Yes,
the
if
play,
you want.
Da-na-na.
absolutely loved hearing the comms in that from the clip submitted, right? Because just calling it out, everybody responded to it. Maywall in the back, fence getting out, bio grenade in, just completely cleaning up and not worried about the flank whatsoever. It's just a really solid team play, really solid.
Yeah, because we were actually gonna. Okay, so that's, if you haven't seen it before, the strat the defense is running on us is basically, it's been run a lot in the World Cup recently, the World Cup group stages, where you basically run goats and you stand on the far left side of the point, and you basically wait till they come out of spawn and you just rush them right at them and basically spawn camp them as long as you can. You burn a lot of time, and because of the way Rialto is structured, you can lose that fight and then have enough time to come back and recontest. And what happened there was, so we were running May on attack on Rialto because we had just run the May Reaper combo I mentioned earlier on the Paul, and it worked really, really well for us. So we decided to run the May on Rialto attack, and we walked outside. Immediately, our May player noticed that they were there, because like we had that strat in the back of our mind because we were about to run that same strat on our defense, and well, after that we didn't run it because we kind of gave him a textbook guide how to break it. But our May did a really great job at walling them off, so they could not back up to that right room. And then our Reinhardt charged in, which like pushed them all up in the air. And I was playing Ana, and I threw a biohit on them, and it like completely wiped them. Because we mentioned earlier, Ana's a really good counter to goats. You can get that anti-heal grenade on them, and it just fell right there.
Gonna be a really solid push. So those are our top plays. Again, guys, clip submission channel in the Discord. You can submit clips from your the week of play, and we'll get them into the top plays. But it's been a lot of fun trying to sort them. Obviously, it gets harder every week. It will start to get harder every week, right? Obviously, this week harder than last.
Yeah,
good stuff, man.
Yeah, specifically the Information Hub channel is the channel that has the link to the clip submission guide. Please only submit clips from OXC games, and preferably from the games that happened this week, so that we can keep them up to date on the games that are happening. But if you're in a game or even just watching a game, you don't have to actually have been playing if you saw something cool you think needs recognition.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you watching a game, submit them, playing a game, whatever. I really appreciated the first person, with the comms from Trashkin. So stuff like that, always fun.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be from the league stream. It could be, if you were recording as well, we would love to see it from your point of view, because sometimes plays are missed by the captures, or maybe you have a better point of view.
Yeah, very true. I think that just about does it for the analysis from the tiers, guys. Again, like we said, the 1v1 signups end tomorrow, the 26th. The ad drop deadline is tonight. So if you have anybody you need to finalize on your roster, maybe you're kind of unsure, you can't add anybody after today. This is your roster for the rest of the season, so make sure you get those submitted as well. So don't. Make sure you're on top of it. Fortnite Season 2 signups are up as well. Obviously, doing a lot of Overwatch, but games developing. We've got Destiny channels now as well, so we're starting to grow that out some more. If you have other games you want to see, definitely let us know. We're looking to continue building and kind of growing those games if the people are available for them. So that'll be something to look forward to. I know we kind of moved Overwatch news towards the end of the show here, but upcoming patch notes, huge tour rework on deck, and I'm kind of excited about this one. What do you think, guys?
I don't know. I'm curious because it's a decent rework, and sometimes they have a tendency to overdo the reworks a little bit. I do think though this will probably be a decent counter to kind of, it's almost like anti-goat city or like anti-armor / Bridget, because his lava he puts down, it can melt through a Bridget ult. It's actually insane.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do like how it's kind of point counterpoint the way they're tweaking these heroes. Just if you guys aren't familiar, the tour rework, armor packs, scrap system are gone. not a part of the thing anymore. Molten Core, style ability overload, kind of. It does get a movement speed bonus, damage resistance, fire rate increase. That is now just a cooldown ability, and it's called overload, but it kind of gives them the same benefits of the old Molten Core. New Molten Core, like you were saying, shoots the liquid magma and the lava all over the place. A lot of AoE damage, and the damage against armor, which, again, I feel like I appreciate that this is coming up now. Brigida's been a thing with the armor. Obviously, Zen has armor as well. Zarya's got armor, so any of those heroes I feel like will also be significantly affected by that, and I kind of appreciate how that will, I think, change the meta, like you were saying, could be a nice ghost gunner.
The only thing I see wrong with it is I see a lot of possibilities for I guess glitches and everything, turrets where they're not supposed to be, since you can more throw them now. Kind of like with sim turrets, like when they changed the sim at the beginning, there were spots where turrets weren't supposed to be and stuff like that.
I'm just
So
curious to
hopefully
see
they
what
get
the
that
word "thrown slightly" means.
Well, I think it's thrown like a pulse bomb kind of. You've got a small range you can toss it, but it can't be like launched across the map, right?
Yeah.
Thank God. The symmetric turns throwing is bad enough already.
True. Yeah, turrets also though, just one level, just goes up to level 2 now. A little bit of a build time can be thrown. So a lot of interesting.
And you don't have to build it yourself.
There.
It all builds up.
What's that?
I was saying you don't have to build it yourself either. It all builds up.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. Again, just boost here and there, tweaks Soldier 76, change tool resistance gun as well. You guys can get into obviously the detailed patch notes. I don't want to bore you with reading a blog post, but the upcoming events though, Halloween event coming back, that should be exciting. I didn't really participate too much in the last Halloween event. Junkenstein wasn't really my flavor, but yeah, what do you guys think? Big Junkenstein fans?
I've never been a fan of like Junkenstein's Revenge. I don't know, just the modes like that. I just not super big into them. Some cool skins though, I'll give that.
Too true.
That's true. I waited forever to get the Anna, with the Halloween Anna skin, so I missed it the very first year. So I had to wait until next year to get it last time, and I was really sad about that. But I actually am kind of with Nibs here, where I was never a really big person on the grinding of the what's it called, the Halloween event. I usually play it a few times, maybe with some different groups of people and a few friends, and then but I don't usually grind it over and over and over again, because I don't know. It's kind of similar to what put me off on Destiny for a little while, was I wasn't a fan of that kind of grind.
Well, you're in luck because there's going to be some changes coming through for it, so hopefully it'll make it more entertaining. Sweet. I don't know exactly what those changes are. I don't think that if they have, just incentive, but
you just made my day.
Yeah, so hopefully some changes. Maybe that'll make it a little bit more fun and make that grind a little bit less grindy. Oh, actually, guys, just quick announcement. Mike Katz, Twitter user Mike Katz has won the gift card. We appreciate all the viewers coming out and retweeting and getting the news out about the breakdown. We obviously hoping to continue the show Tuesdays at 80, and it's been a lot of fun to kind of get set up. A little bit hectic, but we're getting there. Place to start, and we appreciate all the support you guys have for us.
Definitely. Also, let us know if stuff you want to see in this breakdown, and what you do like, what you don't like. We really appreciate any and all feedback you give us. We'll try to incorporate it into our show.
Yeah, absolutely. Different things we can focus on, different approaches. We do appreciate the feedback, all sorts of stuff like that. So make sure you let us know in the chat. Just the last thing I was going to say about the patch notes is that summer games could have new sporting events also, not just the Lucio Ball. Now, I'm a huge Lucio Ball fan, but obviously that's a long way away. But just kind of seeing that on the horizon, that next summer games could have different games, sounds pretty fun. I think that'd be pretty exciting.
I think that would sound awesome. Maybe some Anna paintball in actually officially Blizzard sanctioned. I'd be down for that.
Anna paintball, like easily one of my favorite style game modes there.
I know. I've been trying to push us to do we're doing our 1v1 tournament now. I've been trying to push this for a little bit to do a Anna paintball tournament.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know what other kinds of Moira's got that intro with the tennis. I don't know how they'd really do that though. It sounds kind of difficult. Moira paintball and all that. Of course, I guess by that logic, you do like Farrah basketball, and that seems kind of ridiculous.
Maybe, or it could be like kind of like what's it called? Pong with Moira balls. Some like mechanic.
You could do that with Genji Deflect.
Oh, you're right.
Just give him like, yeah, mess with the cooldowns on that.
Blizzard just needs to hire us now.
Yeah.
That's a takeaway.
General No Nips on Discord. Message me, Blizzard.
Hired.
Yes, I think that just about covers it, guys. Been a really solid week. We're looking forward to all the games from week 6. Again, that already started. Make sure you switch over to Switch channel. I think he does have a game going, and games coming really quickly. A lot of intrigue. Some of those undefeated teams still trying to hold out and navigate the minefield of teams trying to take them down towards the end of the playoffs. Playoff schedules, or rather the playoff standings, as they are, they're not on the website yet. They will be shortly after this broadcast. We'll get those all uploaded, and yeah, I mean that's just about it, guys.
Thanks for watching.
If anybody wants to join the Milkrat fan club, shoot me a message. I'll get you a shirt.
Shirt for the Milkrat fan club?
Yeah.
Membership fee, of course.
Yeah. Easy membership fee. General No Nips, Discord, Milkrat fan club.
Just not via PayPal. Just Venmo. And so anyway, guys, I really appreciate you kind of joining in with us, and yeah, I think that'll just about do it for us. So for Salt Pepper, for General No Nips, and Headbammer, Salt Pepper, this is the OXC Breakdown. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Oh, let's break it down!